Hey, Gary. Leave about an hour from my office or a little more still.
Depending on how long you stay in the DIA, yes. So you're there 20 minutes, for sure.
Yeah, so I waited.
It's a 20-minute drive. About,
So I'll wait till we pull in the DIA and then an hour out. Believe that 55 minutes at the Western. Make a change now. Yeah. No, stay. We're going off the record on the video only to change the tape. Back on the record. Hey Gary, just down the main street and through. We're now going to drive through the Eastern Market, the main street made up of wholesalers of food, flowers, plants, and restaurants.
somebody at the back door to escort you in.
Okay, good. We're gonna take Mac right across to Woodward. We're gonna take Mac to Woodward and turn right heading north on Woodward, picking up where the M1 route will be, which starts in downtown Detroit around the CompuWare building and heads up to Grand Boulevard heading north. We're gonna pick it up at Mac and Woodward. So you'll miss the stadiums, Comerica Park and Ford Field. We're gonna turn right in front of those. Just make it to the DIA.
Air brakes?
Yeah, the air brakes, that's what it is. I think we fit every light in the city today.
Plus.
On your right is part of the Detroit Medical Center complex. Across the street on your right is the Whole Food store we spoke about earlier. The next light, we're going to turn right on Woodward and head to the DIA. On the left, we varied the route because of time constraints. Would have been Comerica Park, Ford Field, and the Fox Theater, and also the site of the new hockey arena. And that's about 2 miles, or about a mile down on the left, heading towards downtown. And this is the route of the M1 route, which would start downtown and head this way. And they broke ground on the M1 route approximately 10 days ago, right in front of the CompuWare building. Get there, want your who's over there lead us up to the Rivera Port.
Right outside.
Now on Woodward, picking up the M1 route. As we pass the street light here, you'll be entering the area where Wayne State University is on the left-hand side of the bus. We're going to turn right in a minute and go to the back entrance of the DIA or Group Center. We're going to be led up to the Rivera Hall where the mural is, in through a gallery where the self-portrait Van Gogh is, and then through a photography exhibit that's new on the city of Detroit and people in Detroit, and then that's it. That's the DIA on the right. Yep, off the record.
They are setting up for Friday night music performance.
Okay.
So that's why you'll see all the chairs in the court. Reality, since this was made on high pressure, this is really not what was going on at the time. We are in a process of setting up our accredited music program. That's why you see the chairs in Rivera Court. But feel free to circulate around. The setup will avoid you.
This is the Rivera Court.
This is the Detroit Industry Murals, completed by Diego Rivera in the 30s. Sorry. This is the Detroit Industry Murals by Diego Rivera, the famed Mexican muralist. We really look at this as the heart of the Detroit Industry Murals. Rivera did these in 9 months. He spent a great deal of time at the Rouge plant, and this represents the making of a car from start to finish, and also is an allegory for the conflict between the more natural way of life, which you see in the agricultural panels up there, and the industrial way of life, which you see in the industrial panels there. And Rivera was very balanced in his approach. He talked about the very good things that can come out of research and industry. The panel on the far right of this wall is vaccination. And then he talks about the very bad things that you can get from industry, and that's the panel on the far left, where we're looking at people in gas masks and the damage that can come from some of these chemicals. All around on the main walls, the two main walls, is the production of the automobile. If you look at this panel right back here, the gentleman in the bowler hat is Diego Rivera. He painted himself into the mural. He was very proud of these murals. And these murals are considered to be the best example of Rivera's work outside of Mexico. The Mexican could certainly have a different impression of that. We are preparing in 2015, spring of 2015, to do an exhibition that will only be at this museum. It's called Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo in Detroit. Detroit was a very pivotal time for them. Frida Kahlo got pregnant here and miscarried. Diego Rivera, of course, did this fine work. And one of the things we discovered in our research leading up to this exhibition is the panel over there with the baby was originally supposed to be an agricultural panel. It was all threshing and harvesting, and after Ms. Kahlo's miscarriage, Rivera did a new panel for that and showed the primacy of the infant. It's a great story we'll be able to tell in our catalog for that exhibition. I'm going to ask you to move through this door right here, and this This is one of several galleries that display Impressionist and Post-Impressionist art at the DIA. We have some really wonderful works of art in this gallery. I will draw a few of them to your attention. Over here is the self-portrait by Vincent van Gogh. The DIA was the first public museum to buy a Van Gogh, so we were way ahead of the curve in front of the art market in purchasing this self-portrait, and it is one of our most beloved Van Goghs. Right next to it was a very generous gift from Josephine Ford, the postman Roulin. He was one of Van Gogh's models in the south of France. Van Gogh was very poor and a little different from his neighbors, and most of them wouldn't deal with him, and he could not afford models, so he often painted his friends over and over and over again. There are multiple pictures of the postman Roulin. This one I think is a little bit special because in a letter Van Gogh wrote to his brother about the blue background and said it reminded him of a starry night. And if you look at the frame, you can see stars in the frame. So the frame and the art reference each other. Also, and here's another one of our Van Goghs. I don't mean to give it short shrift. This is the Diggers. On the wall over here we have a couple of amazing works by Edgar Degas.
We're all set.
All set through here?
Yep, we're just going to walk through now.
from here and then come back out and do the photography exhibition.
Perfect, thank you. No. You want to go here?
Yeah, we should
Come
really,
on,
this
Doug.
is the entrance. This is one of our most,
That's me.
Perfect.
Okay.
we will skip that notice for you for this one. Brought the model Kate Moss here, who is in that picture right there, and did a fashion shoot in and around Detroit and became so enamored with the city and its people that he continued to take pictures. And this is the result of some of his work in Detroit, not all. And he really wanted to show everyone that Detroit was much more than blight and poverty, and that Detroiters were strong, positive people. And so you can see that in all of these photographs. They are very uniquely Detroiters, but they are very, very good snapshots of the people who populate our city.
Thank you.
Do you have the code to this door? No, I'm going to see if we can get this door open because we can go out this way.
And this concludes the tour.